Yeah, good afternoon. It's February 10th, 2019, February 11th. I just heard on the radio, boy, did I foreshadow this. This employee housing boom, this Florida Keys employee housing thing. Um, I saw it coming. What it is, I mean, I like employers to have adequate employment, adequate employees, a labor pool. They already do. It's called the residents of Monroe County. But what they want to do is employee housing. Now, the problem I have with this, which is probably when they debate employee housing, they don't talk to you about this stuff. What happens is just imagine it's called leverage. They have too much leverage over their employees. It's the wrong direction that we want to go. It's elitist. And it's kind of close to slavery. Because let's say dad, some uh, working class guy or gal with a family with three kids takes a job at the new whatever it is up there in Marathon that used to be Knights Key, and because this is the big one and others, and he moves his family in. Oh, by the way, what I've heard before is they give them usually give them a certain amount of time period, like a 2 week probationary period, because if they decide they got 2 weeks to figure out if they want you living at their facility, the employer. So then you pass the 2 weeks, him, her, they both work there. They both work there, right? That's even worse. She's a maid and he's a laborer. And the company starts treating them badly, which is it's going to do. They have so much leverage. Um, they can never quit. They can never say no. They can never, even if they just have to put their heads down and dog it. Because if the guy loses his job or she, what happens? What happens? What happens if she goes and gets a job at a competing hotel because she was being abused by an employer? Do they still let her stay in employee housing with her husband? You would think so. But it's a question, would it bode well on him? The having the stick of homelessness and joblessness of an employer is too much power. They don't hire us. You know what? If you're making $600-700 a night in Key West, $800 for these rooms, 300-400 in Marathon, 500. If you're making that kind of money, pay the people. Pay these local people who are paying 2,500 for a rental, $20 an hour, instead of 8. I'm not for higher minimum wage necessarily. I'm a conservative. What I am for, though, is a balance of power between employers and the employed. And and you know what? If they have to wheel people in to run the show for them and not take a 5% cut in the bottom line to hire local people, they're not fit to be here. So that's my opinion on employee housing. Both. I wonder what the two parties think of that, because I don't know. I don't follow a script. But all I know is, yes, it'll help property values. Sure, having slaves helps property values. Because having indentured servants, um, then they don't need a middle class. They don't need the people living in, the young people or the old. They don't need anybody working here. You know, they'll just put your thinking cap on and think the thing through. Because I think it's coming up. Anyway, that's all I've got to share. Thanks.